Hi, this is Ashley, and this is the Neeley Says podcast, and this is my co-host, Sonia. And it is, this today the 24th? I wrote it down as the 24th.
I have no idea. I've been off work for days.
Well, I think it's the 24th. I don't know, it's Sunday.
Yes, it is Sunday.
It is Sunday. I know that for a fact. I don't know it. I never know what day it is. Ever. But I have a lot to talk about.
It is the 24th.
Oh, good, okay. I was right.
Always.
No, I'm not always right. I like it when I am right.
Yeah.
I'm not always right. I'm like, yes!
I did it right.
Check! Anyway, we have had a blizzard. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't call it a blizzard. Some people call it every day. Like if you live is it Jonas? I thought it was Jasper or something.
No, I think it's Jonas, because I was thinking Jonas Brothers when I saw it.
Well. I saw somebody on Facebook say it was Jasper.
It starts with a J.
Could be or could not be. Anyway, we got how many inches?
I measured 10 at my house.
I think it was like 12.
I think it was around 12, but I think the wind was blowing some of mine away.
Yes. Well, anyway, it was a lot.
That was the last time I decided to go outside and climb through the inches of snow to measure it, so.
You're braver than me. I'm like, I'll watch it out the window.
Okay, Neeley.
I'm not going to go out in it. Neeley said, I said, do you want to go out and play in the snow? And she's like, well, she said, I'm only 3. I will shiver and be cold. And I was like, okay, she said, I want you to go out in the front yard and build me a snowman, and I will watch through the window.
She got it going on.
She's very directive. She
is directive.
She's like, I know what I like, and you are going to do it.
And I will supervise.
And I'll supervise, and I'll tell you that you're doing it wrong.
Pretty much.
The snowman did not get built.
Mm-hmm. There's no snowman in your yard.
No. I was not going to go out in the snow either. Because I don't like the snow. And I don't like being cold and wet.
I don't either, but you did shovel your driveway.
I shoveled my driveway today, and I had to because this is like day number 3 of being snowed in, and I was like, I am getting out. I am busting out of this house. And Luke was going to do it, and then he decided not to because he knows if he didn't do it, I would do it.
Seems pretty common. My husband did the same thing at my house. He was like, I'll shovel that. And 3 minutes later, he was back inside. He's like, the snow's too heavy.
That's exactly what he did. He went out with the shovel, and he's like, yeah, never mind. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing it.
And so, since we're so beastly.
We're beastly.
We went out and
thanks
shoveled
to our
boot camp
training. I got that snow, and I was shoveling it I had it, and I was shoveling it, and I would throw it over my head. I mean, I did. I got it in record time. I did my whole driveway in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think it took me 30, but my driveway's longer than
yours.
It
is longer. And it's steeper.
It's going uphill.
Mine was just flat, but anyway, I did that, and I busted out today.
She did.
I got out of the house. But anyway, being in the house, we did a lot of I did a lot of crafting. And you did.
I did a lot of sewing.
A lot of sewing. I did some sewing.
You did.
Well, anyway, we'll just get right into it because I have a lot to talk about. I don't want this to be forever long. This can't be forever long because you're going to yoga.
I am going to yoga. I gotta watch the time.
I'm stuck. My yarn is stuck.
Uh-oh.
There, I got it. This is my Soft Stones cardigan. This looks really just a rectangle, but I promise you this is a cardigan. These are the armholes here. There are 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like there should be. Boop, like that. And it's going to be a boat neck, so after it's all completed, I'm going to go back and add the ribbing to the neck hole there. I got quite a bit done. I got probably, I think we said we were at 4 inches
right here, yeah.
last time, and I probably have more than 6 now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've been working on this a lot, but it's not really been growing that much. I think it's just because I don't work on it for long periods. I just pick it up a lot, and I just do a little bit, and then put it back down, and then I pick it up. It's good for in between, because it's just round and round.
Yeah.
Just round and round, and it's easy to just do a little bit. And then I don't have to pay attention to it. That's good. There's no shaping because it's kind of a boxy cardigan. And it's really easy. It's just like mindless. But I started on my second ball. I had 3 balls. And this is how much I have left of the second ball. And I really like the way this is coming out.
It's really pretty.
I'm really excited and I'm like, this is something I could do like a bunch of, and I do not repeat any patterns. Once I've done it, and I don't want to do it again. So, I think I could make a bunch because it's just so mindless.
I think you could teach me to do that.
I think you could.
Your yarn is in your coffee?
It was. Yarn in my coffee. Give it a little extra dose of fiber. And then I swatched. Somebody was asking to see like swatches at least one a week of stuff that yarn that I've dyed. So I was like, okay. And this is Zebra Stripes and Polka Dots. That is Lisa Frank inspired. And
it's really, really pretty.
It's pretty neon. I don't know if that showed up well.
I was here when we made it, and we had a lot of fun.
We did. And she said, Lisa Frank, what'd you say? Lisa Frank has she always uses zebra stripes and polka dots.
I did.
And I was like, that's the name for it.
I was like, it's always polka dotty and stripy, like zebras. I think that's what I said.
Yeah, so I really like the way this is my whole swatch thing. It's not a thing, it's just I'm like, I attach the next one and I just want to make up a swatch, and then do the next one and make up a swatch, and that's it. And this is one I'll be showing you today, but it's I didn't have enough left over to make like a whole gradient up this way. This is, okay, it starts with, I could just show you with the yarn. It's going to be in the update. Okay.
You do your yarn.
I'll dig out my yarn. It's at the bottom. This is going to be in the update. And it's a self-striping yarn. And it's a self-striping gradient.
It's really pretty.
And what it is, it's a 4-color self-striping. But those 4 colors go from light to dark. So it's the turquoise color there, and into a light denim blue, into a royal blue, and then into the navy, which is down here. That should be the next thing. But anyway, you get the idea. And those are on sport, and I'll have 3 of those. And that's all the knitting that I did this week. But I feel like I've done a lot of knitting, but it was just stocking it round and round.
I'm throwing it over there so you don't get confused.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh my
and
God.
Then I had worked on this, and you might have seen it once before, but this is a little stitch, cross stitch, a stitch, cross stitch, and it says Ohana on it.
Ohana means family.
And I just got this from Pinterest, and I didn't use a pattern, I just looked at the thing and I just did it. So I'll link to it and I'll see if I can find the paid for pattern. I just kind of be like, oh, that's it, alright, boop, boop, boop,
We have a friend that loves Lilo and Stitch, and it's for her.
It is. And I made it into a little rice pack that goes over your eyes for like she has a lot of headaches.
She has a lot of headaches.
So I thought, well, she can put this in her freezer, or she can warm it up. I like ice whenever I have a headache.
Me too.
But anyway, she can warm it up or put it in her freezer and then put it over her eyes.
Like an eye mask.
And she'll have a little eye mask.
It's perfect size.
I wanted it to long enough to go over your temples, so
yeah,
I think it's really good. And I'm going to give it to her tonight.
Love.
Actually, Sonia's going to give it to her tonight. So here you go.
I will hold it.
And that didn't take me a long. I hand sewed that, and I don't hand sew well, and it took me forever. But
She does better than she thinks.
I just followed the
stitches and
the stitches, and it made it very even. And then I couldn't find a way to sew it up like.
You just whip stitched.
I just whip stitched. It doesn't look the best, but
it's fine. I am making one as well for another friend, so I'll have to bring it one day and show you. It's a unicorn.
It's really cool.
I like it. It's almost done. There's three quarters of a horse there.
Are you gonna say it's a horse?
It's not a horse.
It's not a horse, exactly.
It's a unicorn. But anyway.
If that gives you a clue who it's for.
If she watches this one, she'll know it's for her. But that's okay.
Don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
I know she's watched one.
I think she watched like the first one.
Yeah.
She's not a knitter. I don't think she'll be really watching.
I don't think so either.
No.
We're probably safe.
We're safe. It's a unicorn and it's a rainbow unicorn.
Yeah.
Shh. It's a secret. I'm pretty sure Emily does not watch this, so
yeah, she will be
very surprised about this. Because she probably knows I do a podcast.
Yeah, she does her own, well, she did her podcast with Gina.
They still do it, right?
Not sure if they do it together or not anymore.
I don't know.
Anyway, they do an MMA podcast.
Yes. They interview
Fighters.
Women fighters on their podcast. Because...
And they get some pretty big names.
Yes, because Gina and
Emily
are both professional, right?
I don't remember if Emily's made her pro debut or not. But I know Gina is.
Yes. Gina is our trainer. She is a professional MMA fighter.
For Invicta, which is part of UFC.
Yes. And that's MMA is mixed martial arts.
Yes. So there's punching and grappling and wrestling.
UFC. I know you've probably heard that.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Anyway, you can look her up. I'll link her in the show notes. What else? Oh, I did some sewing.
She did, and I was snowed away from her. I was supposed to help on this.
I know, and then I was like...
I'm just doing it.
I do that, though. I'm like, can you help me on this? Never mind, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I don't like to wait.
I'm impatient like that, too.
But anyway, we went to Hobby Lobby, right?
Yes.
Yes, and we got a bunch of knit jersey. It's called jersey, right?
Yeah. Some
jersey material on clearance for
it's very similar to a t-shirt material.
It was like $2 a yard.
Yeah, it was really, really cheap.
And we got a bunch, and it's really soft. And I decided I wanted to make maxi skirts, or at least one. And so I did. All I did was, I didn't even measure it because it was already like a square, and I was like, I think that will fit. And I sewed.
Yeah, right?
I choked. I sewed up the side, and I made it like into a tube, inside out. Which this one you can't really tell, which is, well, that you can barely kind of tell. It's the inside. Anyway, so I sewed it into a tube, and then I just turned down the top, like, well, what I did was, for the elastic, was, I couldn't get out, obviously, I was snowed in, and I was like, what can I use for the elastic? I don't have any elastic that would work. And the pants I was wearing was, like, they were elastic waist, and they were, like, pajama pants. And I was like, I can use this elastic, I can just cut this up. And so I cut the waistband off of these pair of pants, and I left the elastic because it's like this
big thick.
It's like 2-inch or 1.5-inch elastic. And I was like, I'm going to use that. And so I did. I cut it off, and I inserted it into, I used the, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a pair of tweezers that you can threads the elastic in. Anyway, so I did. I made it's navy and white.
It's really pretty.
It's just a maxi skirt. And I already knew the elastic fit my waist, so I didn't measure that either. I was like, I know this fits already, so, because it was from my pants.
So you have to take a picture
Aren't I so crafty?
In her maxi skirt.
I will take, you know what, I have a dress form and I could just put it on there and take a picture. Or I could get you to take my picture sometime. But I had a bunch of extra material, and so I pushed it to the back and I sewed it so to make it like a pleats in the back. Because I don't have a butt.
I knew this was coming.
I know, because I already told you. I was like, I don't have a butt, so I pushed all the material to the back to make it look like I had a butt, and I really liked the way it looked.
It looks pretty.
It looks pretty back there. It just makes it kind of look like
she has a butt.
I have a butt. So, I actually have bought pants before that make you look like I have a butt.
I know. I've shopped with you to get them.
Oh yeah, you were with me. Well,
you came out and you were like, these really work.
I was like, hey, look. Hey.
I do have a butt.
I do. It runs in my family. I can't help it. No, none of us have one. Not even Neely. She's going to be in bad shape, too.
I'm sorry.
Poor Neeley.
I'll donate.
I will take it.
All right.
All right. On to the next thing. Do I have a next thing?
You have lots of things.
Oh, I did also sew a pillow cover. I just wanted to mention that I also got this on clearance. How much was this? A yard. It was not much.
A couple of
Couple
dollars.
bucks. And I really like this because I have a bird theme in my house and I also have a gray theme.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, this gray almost perfectly matches the walls.
I know.
Because it almost has like a purple cast to it. And this has feathers. You can see. And I had a couple of pillows that I was going to throw away, like bed pillows, because they were really flat. And I folded them into two. I took 2 bed pillows and I folded them into 2, and I just stuffed this. And it's like a huge pillow. Like, it's good to cuddle with, like, on the couch. And I'm like, I am so thrifty. I did. I was like, look at me. I'm saving the environment by not throwing these pillows away. I reused them.
There you go. Upcycled.
Upcycled. That's a good word. I upcycled this. And it's like a corduroy fabric. It's very soft.
Mm-hmm.
I have a thing about textures. Like, I usually don't like this, but this is good.
It's a very subtle corduroy. It's not real crunchy.
It's not crunchy. I hate crunchy. That's why I hate the feel. Every podcast you learn more quirks about me, but I hate the feel of velvet.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. But this is not like that bad. It's very soft.
It's really soft.
It's very like the pile is very
Thin.
or short.
The thing about corduroy is it attracts dust.
It does it. And my husband and my kid have been lying all over this, so it's kind of out of shape now. But I guess that means that it's a hit.
Mm-hmm.
So put that there. And what do you have today, Miss Sonia?
I sat in the snow for a long time and worked on the hexies. So the hexies have grown.
Because you were also snowed in.
Yeah.
She has a 4-wheel drive and she was snowed in.
It was pretty bad, but the last time I brought it, it had 3 corners, and it now has almost
You
all the way
added
around.
this part.
Mm-hmm. I've added 2 of those sections. So this whole section, I put this on and did all the white, and then I'm working on this section now. So it's almost all the way
Because you
around.
had 3 sides that you had not done, and you've done 1.5.
Yeah.
You've made a lot of progress.
It takes a lot longer than you would think to sew each little hexie on.
Somebody wanted to know in the thread, in the Neeley's Knits Yarn and Podcast group, you can comment. And somebody had asked how you remove the paper after you sew the hexies.
Did you bring scissors with you?
Because they don't look demolished in any way. You can reuse them.
Mm-mm. So basically,
So how do you sew it and not put holes in them?
Well, when you're sewing them,
I guess that's what she was asking.
like, ta-da! I don't have a needle in my hand, but as you're sewing and you're folding them over, like this, so I had one here,
Pretty sides together.
pretty sides together, and I'm actually not sewing into the paper, I'm sewing into the fabric that's on the corners of the paper.
Very, very, very little.
They're little tiny little whip stitches. So, I'm leaning on that. So you can see they're really, really little whip stitches, and this was actually just a demonstration one, so the yarns, or the thread's really dark. So you can see. And then these basting stitches come out. So, if I had a pair of scissors, it'd be easier.
I didn't bring any in here with me.
It's okay. It's going to be really bad. But, you just would pull the basting stitches out. Like that. So now there's no more fabric, or no more basting stitches, and it comes straight out, and it leaves the shape of the hexagon. So, paper's left.
So you're not actually sewing it in.
The paper,
It will remove just
Yeah.
by pinching it and
just pinching
pulling
it and pulling it up the middle.
And they're wax papers, so they don't rip
Yeah.
easily.
And you can remake them pretty easy.
Yeah.
But I have stacks of these, and I just reuse them. So the next step on this, when I get all my pieces sewn on, is I will leave one side, so the white usually, I'll leave the paper in those because I want that form to stay. But all these other,
Because if you take it out, that flap
it's
will
loose.
be loose. Yeah.
Yep, so I'll leave the edge of the white, but all of these papers will come out, and I'll trim all these blocks up so it'll look nice and pretty like the middle does. So that's the next step.
Okay, this is a silly question, but why would you have to trim it up if you're going to put a backing on?
It's just making it even, making it less bulky when I quilt it.
Oh, okay. So you don't break your needles?
So you don't break your needles, so you don't have a lump in there, so you don't want a lot of extra.
Yeah.
Extra on the back of it.
So I'd be like, nobody's ever going to see that.
Well, with the white too, your dark fabric will show through your light fabric sometimes, so you got to be.
Are you doing a white backing?
Possibly. I'm thinking about doing a white backing and then using colored thread to quilt in, so it will have a design of the colored hexagons on the back.
Are you going to stitch in the ditch to build it? Or are you going to do it yourself?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a long project.
Yeah. You're not going to hand do it?
Yes, that will be by hand.
You will be by hand.
This will be a fully by hand
So
project.
do you get one of those big circular things and put your quilt in it?
They have they're long instead of circular, and they're like a scroll, kind of like your loom in a way set up, but they scroll on and you sandwich your quilt, your backing, and your batting all together, and then it rolls it up and keeps it kind of in place, but very much like a cross stitch loom.
Cool.
Just a big one, really big one.
I'll help you on that.
Okay. I will need it.
if you trust my hand sewing skills.
We will work on it.
I'm not good at being like patient. I think that's what it is, and I make bigger and bigger stitches. I start out really good and little, and then I make bigger and bigger.
You just want to get done.
I want to get done. That's what I feel like. I don't have a lot of hand sewing patience because I feel like sewing should be fast, and I'm like. But then when it takes a long time, I get frustrated.
I think the more you do it, it's like quilting or knitting. The more you do it, the faster you get it. Yeah. And I almost hand stitch faster sometimes than I can work on the machine because I'm having to figure out things on the machine where I've been doing hand sewing for longer. So.
Yeah, and you could not do like the tedious little. You couldn't do it as exact by a machine, right?
You could not do this at all by a machine. I mean, you could.
You can't.
You could. It would just be a little more difficult with the paper piecing. And you can paper piece on a machine, it just works a little differently. I think the hexagons with all the corners would be really, really difficult to do.
Probably.
But you can do, and I have done, English paper piecing, and you actually sew through the paper on the machine and it perforates it, and then you rip it off like you would a page out of a notebook. It just rips right out of the seam.
That's neat.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's really easy because it'll tell you line it up here, and you line it up here, and you sew on this line in the paper.
Yeah.
And then you just rip it out.
Yeah, maybe I would like that.
I think you would like that.
Yeah.
That's what I've done.
So, I didn't show my weaving.
No, you did not.
I spilled coffee on my skirt.
This is why we don't bring coffee into the podcast every time.
I spilled coffee on my skirt. Right there. Can you see it? Now it's going to have to be washed.
By the way, I'm drinking a blueberry muffin.
This is Dunkin' Donuts blueberry muffin.
And it tastes like a blueberry muffin.
Yeah. I was telling you that last time.
She was.
I don't think you believe you.
Yeah. Until you drink it and you're like, this is really a blueberry muffin.
I know, it's just like a blueberry muffin. And I like blueberry muffins. I like baked goods.
Probably like 4 weeks ago or more, I was like, I don't drink coffee. And then Ashley's like, oh, but come to the dark side, my child.
But you will. You just haven't had it.
But you are my best friend, and I will make you a coffee addict.
Let me just give you a taste. And I promise you'll like it, and then you like it.
I do like it now. I think it's because I had never had maybe good coffee or coffee made that wasn't full of sugar that I really like the really sugary ones. But now I can handle the regular.
Yes.
Because I feel like I'm drinking a blueberry muffin, which is cheating for me. So.
That's why I said like this feels like it's cheating, but it's just coffee and milk. And it's
there's no sugar.
There's no sugar in it, but it tastes good.
Sweet. Yeah.
Sweet. Especially lactose-free milk, which is what I drink, is very sweet on its own, I think. And it really sweetens the coffee, and you don't have to add sugar.
I add my protein powder or protein milk in it, which is also very sweet. Muscle milk is very sweet. And you can get it in vanilla, and it's like adding cream. And no sugar needed with that.
No.
And I get protein.
And, yeah, it's like caffeine, protein, like...
It's a whole meal.
It's like a whole thing. What else could you ever need?
Well, no vegetables for you. So.
No. I don't eat vegetables because...
they make you sick.
They make me very sick. I just can't digest them. I like vegetables. I like to eat them.
A lot.
And everyone else should... Yes, and spinach is the number one that makes me very, very sick. I tried to for a long time. Like, I would eat vegetables every day for almost every meal, and I just stayed so sick. And, like, I just can't digest it. I'll just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. But so now she'll message me when she goes out to one of her favorite restaurants, and she's like, I really want the spinach.
I think we just make another clip.
Okay.
I hope. I hope so.
We may have just lost you for a minute.
No, yeah, there was a gap there. Hopefully I can make this into one video and not two, like I had to last time.
Well, let's show the rest of your yarn because we've been chatting.
Let me
for a
show
while.
my weaving first. And can you hold my copy so I don't spill it? Okay. So this is my Cricut loom, and it's a 15-inch. I just hit myself in the nose with this.
Oh no!
I have a mess today. And my heddle is stuck. Sorry. Why is it stuck? Oh, there it goes. Anywho, this is my Cricut loom. And I'm weaving this scarf, and it's a gradient, out of a gradient cake. And I don't know if you can see it, but it goes from like a tangerine to like a darker orange to like a salmon. And then it's gotten, yep. And this goes into like a green, and then it's almost starting into blue. And I really like it. This is a sparkle sock, and I also did the warp out of sparkle sock in charcoal.
I like it.
And this is my last shuttle, and I don't know how long this is going to be. So I might, if I have a lot more warp left, I might just add in something else and start weaving some more.
You should.
I don't know. I don't know how to judge how long it's going to be, because you have it wrapped up here. Here, you wrap it, so you can't really tell how long it is. If anybody has any ideas on that, because I want it to be scarf size, scarf long.
You want it to be long,
but I don't know how long it is. So I'm like, well, I'll just go till I run out of warp, and then you can't go any farther.
Yeah.
Whatever. Oh, and this calls, I thought I was being very ingenious about this too. This calls for using paper bags from the store. It's just to roll up your work on so it doesn't get tangled. But I had a bunch of these, can you see what they are? They're envelopes from the post office. They're priority mail envelopes. They're these, what's this called? It's not paper, it's like a fiber paper.
Yeah.
That does not rip. And I thought, I'll just use the sticky sides, and I'll stick them together, and I'll use those.
That is thrifty.
I thought it was very thrifty. Thrifty,
my dog.
And so, we said I'm about halfway done with that, and I really want to get it off there because I want to do some wall hangings. I was looking up how to do like the big fringe, and then like do geometric shapes and stuff like that. I thought it was very, something I would like to hang on my wall. And then I think everyone will have a wall hanging because I'll just keep doing them. And you can do like crappy yarn, like Red Heart. You can use it and you really wouldn't even, it's not going to be touching you. And it doesn't look bad in that aspect. I mean, I would never, I'm such a snob. I would never wear something made out of Red Heart against my skin. That sounds so bad.
That's because your yarn feels so good.
This isn't my yarn.
This is not your yarn.
No. This is Elsbeth Lavold Silky Wool. This is silk and
feels
wool.
very good.
Silk, wool, and nylon is what that is. And this is Alana Daco's Never Not Knitting. I can't remember what the pattern is called because I finished it this time last year. And I actually finished it at the beach. And it actually had, I'll just stand up. It has this tree.
There you go. Yeah, they can see
Tree
it.
in the back. And the buttons are from Etsy, and they're hand-hammered copper. You see?
They're really pretty.
And you know I love copper.
She does love copper.
It's my favorite metal. It's so weird to have a favorite metal. But
she's been very into copper lately.
I am always into copper. Because it's my favorite. But these are hand done, and they're thin, and I didn't want something too heavy. Thank you.
I'm fixing your hair.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't want something too heavy to weigh down the... But these are very thin, but they're very pretty.
I like the detail in
Well,
them.
they're sterling silver and copper.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll link to that shop. I can't remember what the shop is called now, because it's been a year ago where I bought them. But they had lots of pretty buttons that they were hand done. Hand forged, I guess you would call it. Anyway, I want to talk about... Oh, that leads me in. I opened a thread on the group, and it's a sweater knitter support group. So this is for people who have either not knit a sweater before and want help, or to talk about it, or something like that, or it could be your 100th sweater, whatever. And you can use any. It's a kind of a contest. It's not really. It's going to have a drawing at the end for your if you finish them, you can enter the finished object thread, and I will pick from randomly those somebody from that thread to win, and I'm going to. You can pick. It's a custom dyed yarn by me.
Cool.
You can pick what it is though. So that's March 31st is the deadline. And so every sweater, whether it's a kid size, baby, adult, whatever, man, if you get it done, you can enter. And like I said, it doesn't have to be from my yarn. I would like it to be, but you don't have to. I mean, it can be whatever you want. I am not big on rules. I'm a rule breaker.
A little bit. And I'm a rule follower, and I think this makes us good.
I'm like, do whatever you want to. Whatever makes you happy.
Painting her house. I'm like, oh, just give me that.
Whatever makes you happy and floats your boat, just do that.
There you go.
I am not, like I said, not big on rules and being a stickler. But anyway, so March 31st. But you can take longer than that, but your sweater has to be done by then to qualify for the drawing. So you should enter, and we'll all talk about how pretty your sweater is and stuff. And I'm doing it. I'm in there. And several other people are too, so far.
Cool.
What else? Oh, shop update time. Okay.
I was going to say, you have lots of pretty
I
yarn.
have lots of yarn to show because, like I said, I've been snowed in. I had nothing else to do. The shop update's going to be on the 27th, and that's Wednesday at 8 p.m. And that seemed to work out pretty good last time because I think people were off work, and because before it was during work hours. Or some people buy yarn at work anyway. Who cares? I don't know. But I think this is a more convenient time. So anyway, the 27th, 8 p.m. So first up, I'm going to have. I did a gradient set, and I haven't done these in a long time. I haven't done these since like last year, probably. Yeah. Anyway, these are on the MCN base, and I'm going to get you to hold these up because they have to be in order. They have to be in order. So this will be a 6 skein gradient.
Here, thread my arm.
Well, there you go. Okay. Vanna White over here.
Hello.
These are whole skeins right now, but I'm going to divide them up. There you go. And last one. There. So, this will be probably the set will have around 650 yards, because I think that's what I calculated up to if I divided these whole skeins into 3. So it'd be 650 yards, I think, for total, if I did that, if I divided it into thirds. But I could divide it into half, and it would be around 800 something yards. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But anyway, that will be in there, so they'll have a couple of sets of that. And it's so smushy, that's cashmere.
Mm-hmm. It's very soft.
It's cashmere. Merino cashmere nylon is what that is. So that will be in there. The gradients are always over here.
Basket over there.
Because you know what? You can make like a big, like, gradients shawl. Or you can make a sweater, or like a top, or...
It would be really pretty in a sweater.
Yeah. But you'd have to have, like... You'd have to have probably half skeins to get enough yardage. you need for a sweater. If you want a sweater quantity, contact me and I will do it.
Trying again.
Trying again. A lot of people have been trying to call me, and every time they call me, it shuts off the recording. So,
this can be a very PC.
it'll be PC, I'm sorry. But there's no way I can stop them from calling.
No.
Because it's on my phone and it doesn't block out the calls. Anyway, I will have one galaxy blank, unless somebody claims it, which these have been like so popular.
Mm-hmm. I love them.
So a galaxy blank are ones that I dye to look like space, because I love documentaries, especially nature ones and space ones, everything like that. So these are supposed to look like space, like nebulas and stuff like that. I'm a documentary like crazy.
A little bit.
I love documentaries, and but so all of them are kind of different because of the technique that I use. None of them are going to be the same. Not even from the same batch. They're not going to have the same design on them. But since they're from the same batch, they will have the same colors, but they're not going to look the same. But these have been so popular. Like, I literally I'll sell them like that. So, I am going to dye more batches, and I'm thinking about having a Galaxy Blank yarn club. Like a 3-month thing after I get back from vacation. So I'll have one of these. And this is like dark. It's really not black so much as it is really, really dark purple and turquoise and pink and cream.
It's really pretty.
So that's on Sparkle Sock. I had 4 of these this morning. This is the only one that's left. Then I will have 2 Lisa Frank. Now this one, it doesn't have as much cream as the other one. So you can tell, like, this is that, but it won't have as much cream. Actually, it doesn't have, like, hardly any cream. So if you like that, there you go. And this has a lot of neons on it, and pinks, and turquoise, and lime. It's really cute. This one sold out really quick last time, too. Like, within an hour. So that was really good. So if you want it, I have 2 on Sparkle Sock. Then I have, this is one that Sonia helped me dye.
I did. It took us quite a while.
Well, because
I kept having to leave.
You kept on having to leave, and you're like, we would do one step and then you'd have to go. And I'm like, okay, so I can't finish this without her. And then I
ended up having to.
Because
It's like 4 days later.
Yeah, 4 days. I was like, all right,
and then the snow was coming.
Yeah, I was like, I've got to finish this up because I can't have it in the dye pot for this long. But there's 3 here, and it's called what?
What did we decide?
We're All Mad Here is what you said, but I think I already have one named
Mad as a Hatter.
Mad as a Hatter is what it's called. It has like some gold. It has some little bits of purple in it.
Little tiny bits of some.
I think it's showing up lighter than what it is.
It's pretty deep.
It's deep. It's like a teal. It's very pretty. So there are 3 of those on Sparkle.
Yes, they turned out really pretty.
I think they did too. Some like brighter blues in there. Pretty. And I'll have 2 purple shirt of sex.
So naughty.
So naughty.
It matches your hair.
It does. It is like a really dark, it's kind of like a plum. Really dark.
A little bit of variation of the colors in there.
Yes. Because I did this in a bowl and not a pot, so it's more variegated. It has less room to move. I had a pot and I accidentally scorched it on the bottom and I had to throw it out. So that's why I did it in the bowl. Anyway, I think it's really pretty, and it's on BFL Silk. And there'll be 2 of those, and there'll be some other stuff that's not done yet to show.
Awesome.
And what else? That's it.
That's it. You've shown everything.
I've shown everything. So until next time.
See you later.
Bye.